Hi everyone, it's Karen Redman, the Mayor of the town of Gawler here once again. I hope your day is going really well. Today is my birthday and I'm working, so it's fantastic. I just firstly like to thank everyone for their birthday wishes today. We'll get stuck into what I'm going to talk to you about, which is outcomes from last night's council meeting. We had an ordinary council meeting last night. Once a month we have a council meeting. You can beam in via YouTube. There's a link that goes up on the day of the council meeting. If you go to the council website, you can also find that link and you can observe and watch council proceedings. It's a really transparent way of getting in touch with what's happening in our local community. So I've got some highlights from last night and I'll just get cracking on what we discussed last night. So first off the rank is our Mural Project. Some of you might be aware there's been a real excitement around getting some more murals in the town of Gawler, and last night we had some initial concepts put forward by various artists, both interstate, local and South Australian, and we selected our selection panel, which comprises elected members, myself, Councillor Nathan Shanks, Councillor Di Fraser and Councillor Cody Davies will be on this selection panel. Watch this space. There is a process that we will be following in regard to asking for concepts from various artists, shortlisting, going out to the community and coming back to council. So it's a really exciting project. We'll be getting 3 murals and I think it is a really good space to be in currently in what we're doing in Gawler. So that's murals. Budget review, we had our third quarter budget review. One of the core roles of local government is to deliver budget and also deliver services, and we have a review each quarter. And so that's steadily progressing and tracking quite nicely with our long-term financial plan. It also incorporated over the last few months, of course, our COVID support package, which is a big package of $3.4 million, multi-layered, and something that we're really proud of as a local government. And I think local government's really punched above their weight as it relates to COVID and working in collaboration with state government, and that's just been a really good outcome for our local communities. Grants, we had a grants update. A highlight from that, we've been quite successful in our grants. We've been really aggressive with seeking external funds because, as all of us would know as ratepayers, that any external funding we get offsets the cost of our rates. So we were successful in $356,000 from the state government for our Princes Park Recreation Hub, Stage 1, which will incorporate a half-court basketball court or netball court and other play areas in the showgrounds, which of course Princes Park is part of that. So we're really excited about that getting moving. Also Carbethan Sporting Ground, we were successful in $900,000, which we have matched, making it $1.8 million, and that will start being rolled out in the new financial year, Stage 1, which means baseball, softball and soccer really get upgraded playing surfaces plus lights and other amenities, and it's just so exciting for those sporting groups, which can then grow and really provide excellent health and wellbeing outcomes for not only our young people but for families as well. So really looking forward to those 2 projects getting off the ground. Gawler River Floodplain Management Authority is a regional subsidiary making up 5 different councils, and you may recall the unfortunate Hillier fire that we had over 12 months ago. It seems like yesterday, and there was some damage along our Gawler River, and we've looks like we're going to get $440,000 from, we have to apply to the Stormwater Management Authority to help clean up that Hillier fire ground. There is a process that we have to follow, but it looks like we hopefully will get that money to help us clean up that fire ground and just make things better. And it also feeds into the Northern Floodway project that hasn't quite been funded, but certainly as Mayor of one of those constituent councils, I think it's a critically important project that we do continue to advocate for, particularly around stormwater management, but also flood mitigation, which is just so critical for a town like Gawler, that we continue to advocate and try and get external funding to help protect us for when those big floods do come, and they will come in the future. Gawler Heritage Collection Committee put up a recommendation last night, which was endorsed, to bring on 4 independent members onto our collection committee, and those people are Adrian Brown, Helen Hennessy, Judy Gillett-Ferguson and Deborah Good. Adrian Brown hasn't been on this committee before, but comes with really incredible credentials as a local community member, but also lots of expertise. We already have Helen, Judy and Deborah on the committee, and they provide wonderful insights and expert opinion into how we manage our Gawler Heritage Collection and everything that sits around that. So congratulations to those 4 people. Thank you for putting your application forward, and I look forward to working with you on that committee, which is just such an interesting committee. Seth Taylor was recommended via our youth committee for a sports sponsorship of $100. Seth is representing the state in hockey. Congratulations, Seth. I'm sure that money will go a long way, and I'm sure your parents would be happy with that. Even though it's a small amount of money, every little bit helps, doesn't it? So congratulations, Seth, and good luck. There was a recommendation came up through the Corporate and Community Services Committee called a Place of Courage Memorialisation Project, which is a project that's been put forward from the Gawler Domestic Violence Network and also Zonta Club of Gawler, looking at a place of courage or a reflective place to acknowledge domestic violence and particularly women that have died as a result of domestic and family violence. And that project is looking like it will be incorporated into our pocket park in Julian Terrace, and hopefully that will come to fruition. So that resolution was about working with that group, working up that project, and then bringing the outcomes of that back to council and seeing what that looks like. So looking forward to seeing what the group come up with in collaboration with our staff. And yeah, I think it's a really good outcome for our community, because sometimes we need to have those difficult conversations, don't we? You know, it's not all about, you know, happy families and everything going beautiful. We have to also acknowledge sometimes things don't go that well, and we need to support people who are in crisis, who are subjected to violence, and who are grieving as a result, and traumatised. So this group is doing some amazing work. I congratulate them for their advocacy in this space. Also through the Gawler Heritage Collection Committee, there was a motion that came up and was supported around possible exhibitions going forward in our heritage collection, our heritage gallery space. And so that resolution is that in future we're looking at music and theatre. Gawler has an incredible history of pantomime, music and theatre, particularly around the Civic Centre, but also around Gawler itself. So I think that'll be a really interesting exhibition. Communications, of course, we've had lots of communications. We've got the Telegraph office. We've also got the Telecom office, which was our, it was a major centre for an exchange, a telephone exchange. I was trying to think of the word, with many women working in that centre, which is behind the main post office or the town clock. And in fact, my mother worked in that centre in the 50s. She was a supervisor. So I think that would be a really interesting exhibition on communications in Gawler. And the other item was Women in War and the Vietnam War, and focusing on that aspect of war and Gawler's contribution to that, and also sacrifice. So yes, lots of different, quite broad range of exhibition ideas that have come forward. And yeah, so we've got a really nice long plan for how our exhibitions are going to look. So that's all I have today. So Look, I hope you have a great day, everyone, and enjoy the cooler weather, and let's hope it rains a bit more.